The mining colony on planet Carrion was quiet, almost too quiet. The human workers, busy in their routine, rarely saw anything unusual beyond the glowing crystals that dotted the mountains. But today, something extraordinary was about to happen. Dr. Kale, the lead scientist of the colony, was examining a strange energy reading on the scanner. It was unlike anything he had ever seen before, small spikes of heat and light, almost like someone was alive and moving nearby. "Something's out there," Kale muttered to his assistant, Lyra, "and it's not human." Lyra, always curious and a little reckless, frowned. "Are you saying it's alien?" Kale nodded. "I don't know what it is yet, but we need to check it out. Carefully." The two scientists grabbed their field suits and energy scanners. They moved toward the source of the readings, past the rocky cliffs and glowing mineral fields. As they approached, the readings grew stronger, and an unusual warmth filled the air. Lyra wiped her forehead. "It's hot, warmer than it should be." Then they saw her. She was lying on the ground, barely moving, with soft, glowing patterns running across her skin. Her body radiated heat, and she seemed to float slightly above the rocks. Her eyes snapped open when she noticed the humans. Bright violet, wide with fear. "Human! Human! Stop! Don't touch me!" she shouted, her voice trembling but clear. Kyle froze. "Wait, she's speaking our language?" Lyra's jaw dropped. I think she is." Kyle slowly extended his hand, careful not to frighten her further. We're here to help. You're safe." The alien girl's body shivered violently, and her glow intensified. "No! Stay away! Human! What are you doing to my body? I'm burning up!" Kale stopped immediately. Her reaction was extreme. He stepped back and studied her carefully. "She's not attacking. She's stressed." Lyra whispered. "She's like a walking reactor. Her body reacts to fear or touch with energy bursts." Kyle nodded. "Exactly. We need to be careful. One wrong move and we could hurt her. Or she could hurt herself." They decided to let her calm down. Kale crouched a few meters away, keeping his hands visible and still. "We're not going to hurt you," he said gently. "Can you tell us your name?" She hesitated. Her breathing was fast, and the air around her shimmered slightly. I'm Sorel," she said finally. "Please, don't come closer." Lyra scribbled notes on her data pad. "Sorel, she's intelligent and scared." Kyle nodded. "Yes, but we have to help her. That energy, she's unstable. She could burn herself out." Sorel's violet eyes darted between them. You humans don't understand. You can't control me." Kyle sighed. "We're not trying to control you. We're trying to keep you safe. Can you trust us for a moment?" The girl's body pulsed brighter, as if laughing and screaming at the same time. "Trust? How can I trust the ones who brought me here, where I'm trapped?" Lyra whispered to Kale. "She's been stranded here a long time. Maybe she thinks we're enemies." Kale nodded. "All right, we'll give her space. But we need a plan." They carefully moved back, leaving a few meters between them and Sorel. She sat up, her body still glowing but less intensely. Her eyes studied them cautiously. "Why, do you care?" Lyra smiled softly. "Because we don't leave anyone behind, no matter what planet they come from." Sorel blinked. The warmth around her dimmed slightly. "You are not like the others." "No," Kale agreed. "We're different. We want to understand, not to capture." For the next few hours, Kale and Lyra observed her from a safe distance. She was restless, pacing in short bursts, her energy fluctuating with every movement. Kale noted patterns. When she stopped moving, the glow softened. When she panicked, it flared. "This is incredible," Lyra said quietly. "Her biology, it's like nothing we've ever seen. She's generating energy like a living star. Kyle frowned. Which makes her fragile. If we make a mistake, we could kill her. Suddenly, a loud rumble shook the ground. Rocks tumbled down the cliffs nearby. Sorrel shrieked and shot up into the air, her glow flaring wildly. "Human! Don't touch me!" Kale held up his hands. "We're not touching you!" he shouted. "We're not going near you!" But the tremor wasn't caused by them. It was coming from deeper underground, a mining quake triggered by the unstable crystal formations of the planet. Sorrel's energy reacted to it, creating a shockwave of heat that made the air shimmer. Lyra ducked behind a boulder. If she keeps reacting like this, she could burn herself out. Kyle thought fast. We have to stabilize her. But how? Then he remembered the experimental containment suit they had been developing for the mining robots. It was designed to absorb energy surges and convert them safely. "Lyra," he said, "grab the emergency containment suit. Carefully, no sudden movements." Lyra ran back to the lab and returned with the suit, her heart racing. Kale unfolded it carefully. "Sorrel," he said softly, "we have something that can help. It won't hurt you. Please, trust us just this once." Sorrel's eyes widened and her body flared again. I don't know if I can." Kale nodded. "I know it's scary, but you're stronger than you think, and we'll be right here with you." For a long moment, Sorrel hovered silently. Then slowly she extended a trembling hand. Kale mirrored her movement, keeping his hand a safe distance away. The glow from her body dimmed slightly as she allowed the humans to fit the suit around her. It was delicate work. Every time the suit touched her, she flared again. But Kale and Lyra adjusted slowly, carefully, until the suit began absorbing her excess energy, stabilizing her. Finally, she collapsed onto the ground, exhausted, but alive. The glow had softened to a faint shimmer, her breathing slow and steady. Kale sat beside her. "See? You're safe now. No one's going to hurt you." Sorrel looked at him with wide, tired eyes. "You humans, you are not like the others. Why would you help me?" Lyra smiled. "Because that's who we are. We take care of each other, no matter where we come from." Sorrel's lips quivered in a small, hesitant smile. Maybe I can trust you." Kyle nodded. "Yes, and once you rest, we'll figure out how to help you get home, or at least find out why you were here." As the sun set over the glowing mountains, the human scientists sat beside the alien girl, marveling at the strange energy radiating from her body. This encounter was dangerous, yes, but it was also extraordinary. Humanity had shown patience, empathy, and ingenuity, and it had worked. Sorrel's glowing patterns pulsed softly, a faint sign of trust forming between alien and human. Kale knew this was just the beginning. Tomorrow they would need to understand her fully, and the truth about why she had been stranded on Carrion. But tonight, they had survived. And for the first time, Sorrel felt something she had not felt in a long time. Hope. The next morning, the first light of Carrion's twin suns painted the Rocky Mountains in gold and crimson. Sorrel lay on a soft energy mat in the human laboratory, the containment suit keeping her heat surges under control. She stared at the ceiling, her glowing patterns dim and irregular, reflecting her anxious mind. Dr. Kale entered, holding a small tablet. "Good morning, Sorrel," he said gently. "How are you feeling?" She shifted slightly, the glow around her body flickering like a candle in the wind. I am alive, but I do not understand your world." Lyra appeared behind Kale, carrying a tray of food samples. "We know it's strange here, everything is different, but we'll help you understand, step by step." Sorrel's violet eyes narrowed. "Help me? Or control me?" Kale shook his head. "Help, always help. You are free to leave at any time, but we want to make sure you survive first. For a moment, she seemed to relax, though her glowing patterns pulsed nervously. Your words are soft, but your actions, I do not know. Lyra smiled. Actions speak louder than words, right? We can start with something small. I'll show you around the lab. No sudden moves, and we'll stay far away until you feel safe. Sorel hesitated, but curiosity overcame her fear. Slowly, she rose from the mat, her feet barely touching the floor. The humans followed carefully, keeping a safe distance. As they walked, Sorel's glow pulsed faster with each step. You are tense, Kale observed. Every new thing triggers your energy. Yes, she admitted. In my world, everything is known. Every movement, every touch, predictable. Here, everything is strange. I cannot control it. Kale nodded. That is understandable. We are different, but we can teach you how to adapt. Lyra stopped near a wall of glowing crystals. See these? She asked. They are part of our mining operations. They store energy safely. Your body is similar in some ways. If you learn to control it, you can avoid accidents. Sorel's patterns dimmed slightly. Control my energy? Yes, Kale replied. We want to help you survive. That is why we stabilized you with the suit. Now we can teach you ways to calm yourself, to direct your heat safely. Sorel studied them, her eyes reflecting both fear and wonder. Humans, you are persistent, Kale smiled, and sometimes stubborn, but that can be useful. For hours, they introduced Sorel to the lab's instruments, showing her the energy containment systems, sensors, and communication devices. At first, she resisted, flinching at every touch, shivering whenever someone moved near her. But the humans were patient, speaking softly, explaining everything step by step. By midday, she was able to float through the lab corridors without triggering dangerous energy bursts. Her glow became gentle, rhythmic, almost like breathing. This is progress, Lyra whispered to Kale. She's learning to trust us. Kale nodded, but his eyes narrowed as a new reading appeared on the monitor. Wait, there's movement outside, multiple energy signatures, approaching fast. Sorel noticed the monitors and stiffened. They are coming for me. Kale frowned. Who? My kin, Sorel said, her glow flaring. They think humans will take me. They will not understand. They will attack. Lyra's jaw dropped. You mean more aliens? Yes, Sorel said, her voice trembling. They will destroy anything in their way. They do not know human. They do not understand your patience. Kale's mind raced. We need to prepare, but we cannot just fight them. We need a plan. Sorel hovered slightly, her glow pulsating rapidly. You do not have time. They will not listen. They think I am theirs. Kyle stepped closer, carefully. We'll protect you, but you need to stay calm. You can control this energy. Remember what we practiced. Her patterns flickered wildly. I cannot. They are close. Lyra grabbed a tablet showing the approaching signatures on the map. 3, maybe 4 ships. They are fast. Sorel's voice rose. Do not touch me. Human, I am warning you. Kale and Lyra stayed back, speaking softly. We are not touching you. You are safe. Breathe. Focus on your own power. You are stronger than fear. It took several minutes, but Sorel finally focused, her glow dimming to a steady hum. I will try. Kyle smiled faintly. That is all we ask. Suddenly, the walls of the lab shook as the first of the alien ships landed nearby. Red lights flashed, casting long shadows across the rocky terrain. Sorel's body flared instantly, her glow rising like a beacon. They They do not understand, she shouted. They will hurt me. Kyle and Lyra moved behind protective shields, activating energy barriers to absorb any unintended surges. We'll handle them, Kyle said firmly. You focus on calming yourself. The alien delegation emerged, tall, lithe beings with glowing patterns across their skin. They stared at the humans with suspicion and anger. One stepped forward, pointing at Cyrell. You took her. She is ours. Kyle raised his hands in peace. She is safe. We are not taking her. We only helped her survive. She is free to make her own choice. The aliens hissed and gestured aggressively. Cyrell's body flared again, creating a ripple of heat that made the air shimmer. Do not touch me, she screamed. Lyra whispered to Kyle, They will not listen. We need to show them. She can control herself. Kyle nodded. Cyrell, show them. The alien girl concentrated, recalling the exercises from the humans. Slowly, her glow dimmed, and the heat radiating from her body softened. The alien delegation stepped back, surprised by the display. She is controlling it? One whispered in disbelief. Yes, Kale said. With guidance, she can manage her energy. She is not a weapon. She is alive, and she is making her own choice. Cyrell hovered mid-air, her patterns glowing softly, no longer erratic. Her eyes met the humans. You helped me? She asked. Yes, Lyra said. We helped, because that's what humans do. The alien delegation murmured among themselves, confused. They did not understand human patience, human empathy, or human problem-solving. After several tense moments, they signaled a temporary retreat, leaving the humans and Cyrell alone, for now. Kale exhaled. That was close. Cyrell hovered shakily, exhausted but relieved. They do not know your ways. I understand now. You are different, persistent, patient, and stubborn, Lyra smiled. Exactly. That is why we survived. Kale crouched beside her. We've bought some time, Cyrell, but we need to teach you more. How to control your power completely. You're stronger than even you realize. Cyrell nodded, still glowing faintly. I want to learn. I want to survive, not just hide. The humans smiled. It was more than survival. It was trust, understanding, and cooperation across species. For the first time, Cyrell felt she could rely on someone other than herself. Over the next hours, Kale and Lyra guided her through exercises, helping her manipulate the heat and light from her body with precision. Each small success made her more confident, and her glowing patterns became elegant, almost beautiful. By evening, Cyrell had mastered several techniques. She could move through the lab without accidental flares, direct small bursts of energy into harmless displays, and even absorb minor shocks from the equipment. This is remarkable, Lyra said. You're learning faster than we expected. Cyrell's violet eyes sparkled faintly. Your patience makes it possible. Kyle nodded. Human ingenuity isn't just about machines or technology. It's about understanding, adapting, and solving problems. That is what makes us strong. Cyrell's body glowed gently, her patterns forming soft waves across her skin. For the first time, she felt safe and respected. She had survived not because of strength alone, but because humans had taken the time to understand her, something her kin had never done. As the twin suns of Carrion set, casting long shadows over the Rocky Mountains, Kale and Lyra prepared for the challenges that tomorrow would bring. The alien delegation might return, more determined than ever, but humans had shown one undeniable truth. Intelligence, patience, and empathy could bridge worlds. Cyrell floated above the lab, her patterns glowing faintly in the evening light. She whispered softly, almost to herself, Humans, you are strange, but I trust you. And for Kale and Lyra, that trust was the first step toward an alliance that would change both human and alien history forever. The following day dawned over planet Carrion, bathing the rocky landscape in the soft orange glow of its twin suns. Inside the human lab, Sorel floated above the energy mats, her patterns pulsing gently like soft waves. Kale and Lyra had been working with her all morning, guiding her to control her energy with focus and intention. "Good morning, Sorel," Kale said, smiling. "Ready for today's exercises?" Sorel's violet eyes flickered with cautious curiosity. "Exercises? Again?" "I am tired," Lyra chuckled softly. "Learning something new is always tiring at first, but we'll take it slow. You've improved a lot already." Sorel's glow softened. I can feel it. My energy, calmer. My body, mine, not a danger." Kale nodded. "Exactly. Today we'll take it further. I want you to move energy outside of your body safely." Sorel's eyes widened. "Outside? Like, touch the world?" "Yes," Kale replied. "We'll use the containment shields and focus your power into harmless bursts. Think of it as painting with your light and heat." The alien girl hovered near the center of the lab, her patterns flickering nervously. Kyle activated the shields around her, ensuring that any unexpected surge would be absorbed safely. Lyra handed Sorel a small sphere of energy-absorbing crystal. "Hold it gently," Lyra instructed. "You'll direct your energy into this. It won't hurt you or anyone else." Sorel extended her hands slowly. The crystal glowed faintly as her energy flowed into it, shimmering and brightening the stone. At first, she struggled, sending uncontrolled bursts that made the crystal spark. But Kale and Lyra stayed calm, guiding her through breath control and focus. "Slow, steady, like water flowing," Kyle said. Minutes passed, and Sorel's control improved. She could now direct streams of heat and light into the crystal without harming herself or the lab. The glow danced across her skin, rhythmic and beautiful. I did it," she whispered, astonished. "Yes," Lyra said softly. "You did, and that's just the beginning." Kale smiled. "Human ingenuity isn't just machines or technology. It's patience, problem-solving, and teamwork. You've learned that quickly." Sorel's patterns shimmered in a complex dance. "Your ways are strange, but they work." Suddenly, the lab's monitors beeped. Multiple energy signatures were approaching the colony, faster and larger than before. Sorel's body flared instinctively, her glow growing bright and hot. They return," she said, her voice trembling. Kale studied the readings. "It's the alien faction, the ones you called your kin. They've brought more ships, more energy signatures, and they're not just curious. They're aggressive." Lyra whispered. "We can't fight them with weapons alone. They're too strong, but maybe we can use what Sorel has learned." Sorel hovered anxiously. I am not a weapon." Kale shook his head. "You're not a weapon, but you can defend yourself and show them that humans are clever in ways they don't expect." Over the next hour, Kyle and Lyra guided Sorel through advanced exercises. They taught her to direct her energy in precise, controlled ways, pushing heat outward to create barriers, forming light bursts to signal, even absorbing small amounts of energy from external sources safely. "You are learning faster than any human could expect," Lyra said. Amazed. Sorel blushed, a faint purple glow spreading across her cheeks. "I do not know why I trust you, but I feel strong, controlled." Kale nodded. "Humans learn by observing, adapting, and solving problems. And you've combined that with your own instincts. Together, we're stronger." By late afternoon, Sorel was ready. The alien ships had landed nearby, and the air shimmered with energy. Kyle and Lyra positioned themselves behind reinforced shields. Sorel hovered in front, her patterns glowing steadily, calm but alert. The alien delegation stepped out of their ships. Their tall, lithe bodies were tense, their energy patterns flickering with suspicion and anger. One of them, a tall figure with crimson markings, stepped forward. "You took her. She belongs to us." Kale raised his hands in peace. "She is free. We did not take her. We only helped her survive." Sorel's patterns flared as she focused on controlling her energy. "I am not theirs. I am myself. I choose now." The aliens reacted instinctively, sending bursts of energy toward her. Sorel absorbed them effortlessly, redirecting the energy in controlled arcs. Sparks of light danced harmlessly across the ground, harmless but dazzling. The humans watched in awe. Kyle whispered, "You see? She's not a weapon. She's learning control, and the aliens cannot predict her next move." Sorel's glow brightened. "Humans, you taught me patience, focus, strategy. Now I can defend myself." The alien delegation hesitated, confused by her calm and precise control. Their own energy pulses were erratic, reacting to Sorel's mastery. It was clear that the humans had taught her more than survival. They had taught her ingenuity. Lyra muttered, "They've never seen anything like this. They don't understand human teaching." Kale nodded. "Exactly. That's the advantage. Humans survive not because of brute force, but because we think, plan, and adapt." The lead alien stepped forward again, this time cautiously. "You control your energy. Better than we expected." Sorel hovered, her glow steady. "I learned from humans. They are clever. They are persistent." The alien hesitated, exchanging looks with the others. Slowly, they withdrew, retreating to their ships. Sorel's patterns dimmed, the tension leaving her body. Kyle exhaled. That was close. Sorel floated down, exhausted but calm. "Your, ways saved me. Not your strength, not your weapons, but your mind. I do not understand fully, but I respect it." Lyra smiled. "That is what humans do. We think, we adapt, we find solutions where others see only danger." Sorel's violet eyes softened. "Perhaps humans are strange, but strong." Kale placed a hand gently on the console. "Strength isn't just physical, it's knowing what to do, when to act, and when to stay calm. You learned that. You are strong because of it." For the first time, Sorel felt a deep sense of confidence. Her energy was no longer a danger to herself. It was part of her, something she could control and use. She had survived, not through fear, but through understanding and trust in humans. The twin suns set over Carrion, casting long shadows across the glowing mountains. Sorel hovered quietly, reflecting on the day. Humans had shown her a new way of thinking, a new way to survive in a world full of threats. She had learned that intelligence, empathy, and patience were as powerful as any weapon. Kyle and Lyra prepared the lab for the night, knowing the aliens might return. But tonight they had demonstrated something extraordinary. Humans could teach, guide, and solve problems in ways no one else expected. Sorel floated above the mats, her patterns glowing softly. "Humans, you are persistent, clever, and kind. I trust you." Kale smiled. "And that trust is the strongest bond there is." Lyra added, "Tomorrow, we'll teach you even more. Together there's nothing we can't handle." Sorel nodded, feeling hope for the first time in a long while. She had survived the impossible, learned control over her dangerous energy, and discovered that humans were not just strong, they were extraordinary in ways that mattered more than brute power. And as night fell over the glowing mountains of Carrion, Sorel and the humans rested, ready for whatever challenges awaited. They had survived together, and in doing so, humanity had once again shown why it could thrive against the odds. The twin suns of Carrion rose once again, casting long shadows across the jagged mountains. The human colony had never felt so tense. Kyle and Lyra were awake before dawn, reviewing the energy readings from the night before. Cyrell hovered nearby, her glowing patterns calm but alert. "The alien faction won't stay away for long," Kyle said, his eyes scanning the monitors. "They'll return, bigger and stronger. We need a plan, one that uses what Cyrell has learned." Lyra nodded. "We've trained her to control her energy, but even she cannot fight dozens of them alone. We need to combine strategy with her powers, human ingenuity." Cyrell floated silently, listening. Her violet eyes reflected concern and determination. I will help. I am ready. But I am not a weapon." "You're not," Kyle said firmly. "You're a partner. Together we can protect ourselves and show them that humans and you are clever." By mid-morning, the first alien ships reappeared on the horizon. Larger than before, they hovered with glowing energy fields that shimmered in the sunlight. Cyrell flared instinctively, her patterns brightening with anxiety. "Steady," Kale whispered. "Focus. You control this." The aliens landed in formation. Their delegation stepped out, tall, lithe beings with sharp, glowing markings moving in unison. The lead figure, a crimson-marked alien, pointed at Cyrell. "She is ours. Leave or face consequences." Kyle raised his hands in peace. "We will not fight unless necessary. She is free to choose. We only protect her." The alien hissed, energy crackling around them. "Words mean nothing. Obey or be destroyed." Cyrell's patterns flared brightly. She hovered higher, breathing steadily. "I am not yours. I am Cyrell," Lyra whispered to Kale. "They won't back down. We need to act fast and smart." Kale nodded. "We'll use her energy, the shields, and the terrain, watch and coordinate. Humans survive by thinking, not just by fighting." The first alien moved forward aggressively, sending a stream of energy toward the humans. Cyrell reacted instantly. She absorbed the blast into the containment suit, redirecting it into the nearby mountains. Rocks and crystal formations glowed but remained intact. The alien stumbled, surprised. "What? She controls it!" Cyrell's patterns pulsed in rhythm with her breath. "Humans taught me patience, focus, strategy. I will not be a tool. I will defend myself." Kale guided her through hand signals. "Push energy into the shields to create barriers. Use the terrain to channel them, slow and steady." Cyrell focused. A shimmering wall of heat and light rose around the lab, absorbing every energy attack from the aliens. The human shields reinforced her barriers, combining their ingenuity with her raw power. Lyra activated the automated drones in the lab. Small, agile machines zipped toward the aliens, creating distractions and guiding them toward areas where Cyrell could redirect energy safely. The aliens were confused and frustrated. Every attack they launched was absorbed or deflected. Their leader growled, realizing brute force would not work. Kale called out, "Cyrell, now! Direct your energy into those formations. We can guide the flow." The alien girl closed her eyes, concentrating. Streams of light and heat flowed from her body into the rocky terrain. The crystals in the mountains pulsed with energy, creating dazzling bursts of harmless but disorienting light. The alien attackers stumbled, their movements slowed by the clever redirection. One of the aliens tried to bypass Cyrell, aiming directly for Kale and Lyra. Cyrell reacted instinctively, sending a controlled surge of energy to block him. The alien was pushed back without injury, shocked by her precision. Kyle whispered, "See? She's not a weapon. She's a strategist, guided by human ingenuity." Cyrell's glow dimmed slightly, her pattern steady now. "I understand. Focus. Strategy. I can do this. Lyra directed the drones to create energy corridors. We're channeling her power safely. Humans think in layers, plan, adapt, and act. The aliens regrouped, trying to overwhelm them. But Sorel, guided by Kale's instructions, anticipated each move. She pushed controlled bursts of energy through the corridors, redirecting their attacks harmlessly into the mountains. Her confidence grew. I can control my energy now, she shouted, flaring brightly. The alien leader hissed, his eyes widening. Impossible! She is coordinated! Kale smiled. Not impossible. Humans teach, adapt, and problem solve. That is how we survive. Lyra called out, Sorel, let's end this now. Use the terrain and your energy. Push them back toward their ships. Sorel focused. Streams of light and heat flowed from her hands into crystal formations across the mountains. The energy refracted in patterns that created barriers, guiding the alien attackers into harmless zones. One by one, the aliens stumbled, frustrated and confused, unable to land a direct attack. Finally, the alien leader signaled retreat. This is not over, but today, humans and this one have proven clever. Sorel exhaled, her patterns dimming as her adrenaline faded. She floated down to the humans, exhausted but triumphant. They could not harm anyone because I learned your ways. Patience, strategy, focus. Kale placed a hand on her shoulder, careful not to trigger any reaction. Exactly. That is human ingenuity. We think, adapt, and act. We survive through intelligence and teamwork, Lyra smiled. And you helped make it work. You are not a weapon. You are a partner. Sorel's glow softened. I am not a tool. I am Sorel. And humans, you are extraordinary. Kale nodded. We survive against the odds, not by strength alone, but by intelligence, strategy, and trust. You've seen it today. Together, nothing can overwhelm us when we think, adapt, and cooperate. The alien faction retreated to their ships, leaving the humans and Sorel alone. The lab was intact, the terrain unharmed, and Sorel's confidence in herself and the humans stronger than ever. As the twin suns of Carrion set, casting long shadows across the mountains, Sorel hovered quietly. She reflected on the battle and her new understanding. Humans were strange, yes, but their minds, patience, and creativity made them extraordinary. They had turned a dangerous confrontation into a lesson in strategy and survival. Kyle and Lyra prepared the lab for the night, checking energy readings and reinforcing shields. Sorel floated above, her patterns glowing gently. I understand now, she whispered. Strength is not only force, but intelligence, patience, and trust. Humans, you taught me these things. I respect you. Kale smiled. And that respect is the strongest bond. You've proven today that ingenuity, focus, and cooperation can overcome even overwhelming odds. That's what makes humans remarkable. Lyra added softly. And you, Sorel, are learning to match that brilliance. Together, there's nothing we cannot face. Sorel nodded, exhausted but hopeful. She had survived the impossible, controlled her dangerous energy, and seen firsthand how human minds could outthink any threat. She was no longer just a scared alien girl. She was a partner, confident in her abilities and the humans she now trusted. As night fell over the glowing mountains of Carrion, the humans and Sorel rested, ready for whatever challenges the next day would bring. They had survived together, proving once again that intelligence, patience, and teamwork were more powerful than brute force. For Sorel, it was a lesson she would never forget. Humans were extraordinary, and by working with them, she could face anything, even her own kin. The next morning on planet Carrion was calm. The twin suns rose slowly, casting warm golden light over the Rocky Mountains. After the confrontation with her kin, Cirel floated quietly in the human lab, her patterns glowing gently. She no longer trembled with fear. She had learned control, focus, and trust, lessons humans had taught her with patience and ingenuity. Kale entered, holding a data pad. Cirel, I checked the energy readings overnight. Everything is stable. You've done well. Cirel's violet eyes met his. I feel different, stronger, calm, not just because of the suit, but because of you humans. You taught me patience, strategy, focus. Lyra smiled as she entered, carrying small energy crystals for practice. We're proud of you. You've mastered what most beings would take years to learn. Cirel's glow pulsed softly, a faint smile crossing her face. I did not believe I could survive here, but you helped me. Kyle nodded. Humans survive through intelligence, creativity, and trust. We think, plan, and adapt. And you've learned to do the same. Cirel floated closer, her patterns forming elegant, soft waves across her body. I wish I could show my kin how humans think. They do not understand patience or strategy or care. Lyra patted her gently on the shoulder. Maybe one day you can. For now, focus on yourself. You've come a long way. Suddenly, the monitors beeped. A small energy reading appeared on the horizon. Kyle frowned. Unusual signature? Not from the alien faction. Something approaching fast. Cirel's glow brightened slightly, cautious. Another unknown? Kyle checked the scanners. It's an incoming ship, but not hostile. Let's investigate carefully. Minutes later, a small craft landed near the lab. A single figure emerged. At first it looked human, but the features were slightly alien, with subtle glowing patterns. The being approached slowly, raising its hands in peace. Cyril's eyes widened. Who is this? Kyle studied the scanners. Unknown species. No signs of aggression. They might be explorers. The figure stopped a few meters away, bowing slightly. Its voice was calm and melodic. I am Zira. I came after sensing your energy stabilization. I wish to learn and offer guidance. Cirel's patterns pulsed with curiosity. You understand me? Zira nodded. Partially. But you, humans, and your methods are remarkable. I wish to witness how you teach and survive. Lyra whispered to Kale, this could be an opportunity. We've shown Cirel how to control herself. Now we can share our methods peacefully. Kale nodded. Exactly. Humanity survives not just by fighting, but by thinking, planning, and helping others adapt. This is what sets us apart. Cirel floated closer to Zira, her glow soft and calm. I survived because of humans. Patience, strategy, understanding, they taught me. Perhaps I can help others, too. Zira smiled faintly. You have learned quickly. That is rare. Kyle stepped forward. Cirel has shown that humans and aliens can work together. Intelligence, patience, and ingenuity matter more than brute force. Cirel's patterns brightened in agreement. Yes, humans, strange, but extraordinary. Lyra added. And you, Cirel, have grown too. You are no longer just a frightened alien. You are strong, calm, and capable. For the next few hours, Kyle and Lyra explained their methods to Zira. They demonstrated how patience, observation, and careful planning could overcome almost any challenge, even when outnumbered or outgunned. Cirel helped translate some of the exercises into her energy-based abilities, showing that human strategies could be combined with her unique powers. Zira observed, impressed. Humans, you survive through mind, not just strength. You teach, adapt, solve problems, together. That is remarkable. Kale nodded. It is how we thrive. You could call it humanity's way. Patience, thinking, trust, and problem-solving. Sorel hovered proudly. I have learned humans' way. I will remember their lessons, always. Later, the alien delegation that had previously attacked returned, cautiously approaching the lab. Their leader's energy flared, but Sorel did not panic. Instead, she floated forward, calm and radiant. I am Sorel, she said clearly. I choose. I survived with humans. I understand control, strategy, focus, patience. I will not be taken. The alien leader blinked, stunned. Impossible. Your energy, stable, controlled, and human. Influence? Kyle stepped forward. Yes, humans survive through intelligence and patience. We teach, we adapt, we solve problems. You may not understand, but it works. The alien delegation hesitated, realizing brute force would not achieve their goals. Slowly, they signaled retreat, nodding at Sorel. We see now, she is her own. Your humans, strange, clever. Sorel's violet eyes softened. Yes, humans, strange, but extraordinary. Kale smiled. And that is the lesson. Strength is not just power. It is patience, intelligence, adaptability, and trust. That is what makes humanity survive, even against impossible odds. As night fell over Carrion, Sorel floated above the lab, her patterns glowing gently. She looked at Kale and Lyra. I survived, learned, because of humans. They taught me control, strategy, patience, focus. They extraordinary. Lyra smiled. And you learned quickly. Together humans and allies can survive anything. That is why humanity is remarkable. Sorel nodded. I will remember, always. Humans taught me strength is mind, not just body. Kale placed a hand gently on the console, thinking of the journey. We've shown that even when outnumbered, when facing dangers unknown, humans prevail through creativity, trust, and clever problem-solving. That is our way. Sorel's glow pulsed brightly, almost like a heartbeat. I am not a tool. I am Sorel. And humans are extraordinary. I trust them. Lyra laughed softly. That trust will take you far, and it will inspire others too. As the twin suns finally set, casting long shadows over the mountains, Sorel reflected on her journey. She had arrived alone, scared, and reactive. Now she was calm, controlled, and confident. She had learned the human way, patience, strategy, empathy, and ingenuity. And humans had proven once again that survival was not just about strength or numbers. It was about intelligence, creativity, and trust, the very traits that made them extraordinary. For Sorel, the lesson was clear. She could face her kin, explore new worlds, and overcome challenges, not because of fear or force, but because she had learned the human way. Kale and Lyra stood beside her, watching the stars begin to twinkle above Carrion. We've done something remarkable, Kale said quietly. Lyra nodded. Yes, we survived, we taught, and we helped someone grow stronger. That is humanity. Sorel's violet glow shimmered softly. I will tell others what humans are capable of, their ways, patience, focus, strategy, trust, cleverness, extraordinary. The night air shimmered with quiet energy. Sorel's patterns pulsed steadily, her fear gone, replaced by confidence and trust. She had survived the impossible, learned control, and discovered that humans were indeed extraordinary beings. Kale looked at the stars, thinking of the future. "We will face challenges again," he said softly, "but humanity and allies like Cyrell will always find a way. That is who we are." And under the twin suns of Carrion, with the stars beginning to shine above, Cyrell whispered one last time, softly but firmly, "Humans are extraordinary, and I will never forget." The human way had triumphed, not with violence, but with intelligence, ingenuity, and trust, a shining example of HFY.